Taya was a sweet and kind-hearted woman who lived in this village. She was born and grew up in the house in the field. She was loved by everyone in the town. As a child, she would pick flowers from the field outside of her house once a week and give them to people in town, people who looked like they needed them. As she got older, her kindness and compassion never dimmed. One day, she gave a flower to a young man who looked like he was going through a hard time. That man was Kin. They soon got married, moved in together, and had a son, Damien. Taya would take her son out into the field with her. Together, they would find only the most beautiful flowers to give to the people in the village. They would collect them in a little basket made out of interwoven straw and walk down the long dirt road leading to the town. Taya, good to see you! How are you, Taya? Taya's back! Damien's gotten so big! The people would greet her as she walked through the streets. Taya had a gift, you see. When she would look into a person's eyes, it was as if she could see the deepest emotions held in their heart, the emotions that no one else knew were there. She would look for people with darkness surrounding them and give them one of her special flowers. Everyone needs some colour in their lives, she would always say with a kind smile. One cold winter's day, Taya went into town, alone. Due to the chilling temperatures, she left Damien at home with Kin and set off. Kin had told Taya not to go, as the freezing winds that were blowing in could make her sick. But she ignored him. It's times like this when people need flowers the most, Taya said. When she got into town, she noted that the streets were not as crowded as they usually were. The cold must be keeping people indoors, Taya thought to herself. Taya started to walk down the main street when she heard voices coming from inside the inn. The closer she got to the swinging door of the building, the louder the sounds of the townsfolk became. She opened the door to the inn, and as she did, she saw that it was full of people, the lively chatter and beautiful banquet of laughter coming from each table of the inn, bringing a smile to her face. Taya, good to see you! How are you, Taya? Where's Damien today? Taya walked around the inn, returning friendly greetings to the familiar townsfolk. Just then, Taya saw a man that she did not recognise. A worn, grey hooded cloak and brown sack roped to his back, indicating that the man was a wanderer. Hello, sir. Haven't seen you before. I'm Taya, she said with a friendly smile. What's your name? The man suddenly looked up at Taya, and as soon as she looked in his eyes, her expression changed. Red, crackled lines appeared as thunder in the whites of the man's unforgiving stare. Dark rings hung from his eyes, and wiry, black strands of hair dangled down his cheeks. The man's skin grey and lifeless under the shade of his hood. Taya saw that the man's heart was encompassed by a coil of emptiness, and his soul seeming to consist of nothing but resentment and broken promise. She had never seen anyone with as much darkness shrouding their inner being as this man. Please, sir, accept this, Taya retrieving a flower from her basket and offering it to the stranger. You seem like you are in need of some colour on this cold day. When the stranger saw Taya's gift, a sinister smile formed on his face, the yellow jagged teeth of the man giving all in the inn a sense of unease, all except Taya, who was filled with nothing but compassion for him. "You are too kind, miss. A world as dark as this doesn't deserve someone like you," said the man as an almost excited expression formed on his face, his bloodshot eyes never leaving Taya's. "Thank you," nervously uttered Taya at the man's unusual response, the pity in her heart for the man suddenly being overwhelmed by a wave of caution. "Who are you?" she hesitantly inquired. "Just a wanderer," vaguely answered the man. Taya felt a mist starting to seep into her soul. It was as if the blackness inhabiting the stranger was invading the light at the core of her very being. She could feel her optimistic love for the world fading under the shade of the approaching cloud, being replaced by a blanketing sadness. She knew that she had to get away from this man. "Well, it was nice to meet you, but I'll be heading back home now. My husband and son will be worried," Taya said, as she gave a forced smile to the man and started towards the door, walking swiftly as she went. "I'll be seeing you," replied the wanderer, his crazed gaze still fixed on Taya, his broken smile widening. Taya left the inn. The wanderer followed. That was the last time anyone saw Taya. The only sign of her was an empty straw basket found in the alley next to the inn.